Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is not going to be for everyone. If you are someone who loves to celebrate Christmas, it's totally your vibe, you enjoy it, whether that's for religious reasons or just whatever, you just vibe with that holiday. Because it doesn't have to be a religious holiday, obviously. But if that's you, this video is not for you. This is to offer an alternative perspective. So you may want to stick around, but otherwise, if you are someone who does not vibe with Christmas as a holiday, this video is for you, because I am one of those people. And I want to talk on it a little bit, because as a society, at least in, a lot of countries around the world, like westernized countries or like colonized countries around the world, Christmas is a big deal. Christmas is a big holiday. For us here in Aotearoa in the southern hemisphere, it is the height of summer. So it's always felt a little bit weird for me, a little bit out of place. The Yule log, the snowflakes, the North Pole, like all of that narrative is weird when you're in the height of summer and it's hot as fuck. And all of the, the traditional Christmas songs and the decorations and all of that lore is geared towards the Northern Hemisphere at this time of year, where it's butt-ass freezing and you're trying to keep warm and cozy and drink hot cocoa and all of these, mulled wine and all of these warming drinks. And it might be snowing, it might be a white Christmas, it might not, but anyway. So it's always felt a bit weird, a bit off, a bit strange. Also because we have our massive school holidays at this time of year, so the kids are off school for about 2 months. It's a hectic time of year already. It's expensive because kids are home from school. It's summertime, so you want to do, as many activities as possible with them, or if you don't have kids, just, as yourself, to enjoy the nice weather. It is already such a hectic and expensive time, and then you add on top of that a major holiday and an expensive holiday because of what it's become. It's a whole lot of stress and anxiety for most people. Like, mental health statistics this time of year are not good. Like, people are in distress. It can also be because of childhood trauma or family traumas, or feeling alone, or maybe not having family or friends to celebrate this time with, or it's bringing up, past Christmases and maybe they were not so good and they were hurtful and harmful to you. So there's a whole lot riding on this time of year. It can be hard for a lot of people. And then you also have people like myself and my partner. We just don't vibe with Christmas as a holiday. We're not Christians. We don't believe in the whole birth of Jesus stuff. We don't particularly enjoy the idea of Santa Claus. It's creepy. I'm sorry, but to us, it's really creepy. Like, this old man is supposedly watching your children year round to decide whether they deserve gifts or not. Like, to decide if they are fundamentally a good or bad child. No. We don't like that. We don't like the overarching patriarchal view of that. Like, this old, often portrayed as a white man, is judging you for all of your actions. and supposedly is the magic of Christmas, when quite often the magic of Christmas is women. His mums working really hard to provide the best, most magical, festive time of year that they can. But it all gets put down to this old white dude. Okay. So there's that. There's also like, it's like a mini idea of a Christian God kind of for us, like Santa. Like, it again, if you portray it as like this old man figure and he's judging you for all your actions and like basing whether or not you're like a good person on that. Yeah, so that's the whole Santa thing. So we don't do Santa. I also don't like lying to my kids. I'm not into it. So yeah, that's that. So there's all that. And then if you are someone with kids and you've never liked Christmas, you're not into it, and you have kids, there's this extra layer of societal pressure and maybe familial pressure too. I know I've had it. Saying that Christmas is for kids and you have to do Christmas because you have kids. You don't have to do anything, sweetheart. Okay, that's what this video is about. It's about choice. It's about speaking to you and empowering you if you are someone who wants to opt out of Christmas, to say it's actually okay. It's actually okay to do that. Then the other aspect of Christmas that we don't enjoy is the consumerism. It has become, as things tend to do in a capitalist society, it's become all about spending money. It's become about greed and overconsumption and excess, and it's so harmful. It's harmful to ourselves, it's harmful to the environment, it's harmful to families who actually can't afford it but feel the pressure to give their children everything. And it's not good. It adds so much unnecessary stress and pressure. And again, if you are someone who loves giving gifts and you've got the time and the space and the energy and the spare income to provide those gifts, amazing. But if you are someone who's like scraping the bottom of the barrel this time of year, or you just struggle around this stuff, it's hard. It's really hard. Like, as a family, it's hard to afford gifts for our kids. It is. We've now scaled things really far back and we just do a couple of gifts. We don't go overboard. We try to do things like secondhand gifts, which can be amazing. They can be just fantastic gifts. Just because they're pre-loved, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. So that can be a really good hack as well. But kind of like scaling it back on that. So the kids just have like a few things to open each. We now get extended family to contact us as parents directly and say, hey, what does your kid want? What do they need? Because we focus on the need first and then like a bonus thing sort of thing after that. But we're not into like just throw away cheap plastic things. We're into like things that you can use for a long period of time, or you can use and then sell on and someone else can enjoy it or donate, just depending on the situation. So that's how we navigate that stuff. Apart from that, what can you do if you want to replace Christmas with something else? It's hard to celebrate nothing. I don't enjoy celebrating nothing. I love celebrating. I love celebrating holidays. I love celebrating the things that matter to me and my family. And one of those things is the earth. is nature, is the planet. Like, that is so important to us in our lives. I mean, it's important to every living organism on planet Earth, but not necessarily consciously. And I try to be conscious about that. So, Christmas is originally a pagan holiday, and paganism is something that really speaks to me. I don't identify as a pagan. I don't belong to any religion. I just think that there is so much beauty in that, and especially in celebrating life and the seasons and the earth and the things you can touch and the things around you that sustain you and give you life. Being grateful for that, being attuned to that. I love summer, and so our big holiday this time of year is the summer solstice. We also celebrate the winter solstice, the opposite time of the year. And the other holiday that we have started to celebrate as well is Matariki, which is the Māori New Year, which is Indigenous people's Aotearoa. So those are our main holiday celebrations through the year. And summer solstice is the thing that we have chosen to focus on for our whānau, for our family, at this time of year. So we celebrate the summer. We celebrate it on the solstice, which this year is the 21st of December, so it's very close to Christmas. And what we do is, it may look very, very similar to Christmas in many ways. We have a tree behind me. You can see we have a tree. We call it the solstice tree. We don't call it a Christmas tree because kids love the tree. The lights are not going now because they don't translate well on camera, but it lights up beautifully in all different colours. And we have star, sun and moon decorations because, again, that's like talking about nature. And we also have like a couple of wee crystals up here. But in an ideal world, I would be making wreaths, flower wreaths, and the sun catchers, and decorating the house with all of that. But again, I'm trying with a young family to not add any additional pressure to myself at this time of year. So further down the line, maybe. Another thing we like to do is bake cookies together. We'll bake little star, sun and moon cookies, and we'll decorate them with beautiful colourful icing and herbs and flowers from the garden. These are just a couple ideas. We also have a feast, so we'll have some family around home, and we'll have a feast that celebrates the summer season. So that's fruits, berries, herbs, and all that good stuff. Anything that's in season at this time, we try and use in our feast. And we get together, and the kids open their presents on the solstice. So this has been a transition. We are a blended family, so my eldest, it was already Christmas had already been pre-established for him. So now we are like transitioning to more, all of the celebration and the gifts and everything is contained to the solstice day. We will still see family on Christmas Day, family who do celebrate like this. We have nothing against getting together with family and having a beautiful meal and a celebration together. Nothing at all. I think that's beautiful any time of year, whether that's your chosen family or actual relatives who you hold near and dear and who are loving and kind and good people in your life. Whatever the case may be, love it. It's beautiful. I'm all for it. I'm not a Grinch. I'm not anti, the spirit of Christmas, if you will, which to me, as a non-Christian, is family and giving and just getting together and celebrating. I'm not against it at all. I just don't like Christmas and all the things attached to it. The other thing is it's really difficult navigating like schools and early childhood centres and stuff because they really celebrate Christmas. So like with my daughter's childcare, I just say like, hey, we don't put a focus on Christmas in our home. We don't do Santa Claus. We don't really celebrate Christmas. We celebrate the solstice, and this is what that looks like for us, because a lot of people don't even know what a solstice is. So that's what we say. It doesn't mean she can't participate in the Christmas activities that they have going. Absolutely not. I would never keep that from her. It's just that in our home, in our family, we have a different focus. So that's kind of where that's at. It is hard to go against the grain in any aspect of life and society and like conditioning that you've grown up with and that sort of thing. If you want to, it's hard to go against the grain. It's hard to make those first initial steps, and you might doubt yourself and you might think, I'm not allowed to do this, or I can't do this, or people will judge me, or people will think I'm like a Grinch or like mean, or whatever the case may be. It can be difficult to make that first leap and initial step towards change, towards doing something different for yourself. And for us, it's been gradual. It's been over the last few years, and for us, it's been really positive. We've always just focused on adding things, like not necessarily taking things away, but like just adding our own spin on things. You can make your own traditions. It's basically what I'm trying to say. Long story short, you have the power and the will of your own to make your own traditions with yourself, with your friends, with your family, whatever the case may be. You have that ability and that choice. And just because this is the case with anything in society, right? Just because the majority do it one way, it doesn't mean that you have to do that. You can absolutely make the decisions that you want to make, that you feel are aligned with yourself and best for you and those around you. You can absolutely do that. And choosing to opt out of Christmas is one of those options. Prior to even learning about the solstice, like when I was younger, I just felt sad at Christmas time. I felt really sad because I didn't vibe with Christmas. It didn't align with me, with my values and what I felt inside. And so I just felt sad. I felt like I was missing out. I felt like there was something wrong with me. Like, why couldn't I get in the spirit of Christmas? Season of joy, whatever. So I just felt like, oh. So that's why if you feel that way too, I encourage you to find your own thing to add on to that time of year. Something you can look forward to, something you can celebrate. And you don't have to do anything that is associated with Christmas. Like if you don't want to do gifts, or like, well, you can't afford to do gifts, or whatever the case may be, like you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't. Like, it's just, we're so told and conditioned from a young age that this is what we do. In December, 25th of December, this is what we do. And this is how we celebrate this time of year. And this is what it means. And we're told that with like so many things in our lives, right? This is how it is done because everyone else does it this way. You don't have to. You don't have to. I am now excited for this time of year, apart from the stress, because it is a stressful time of year, and the overwhelming just messages of like buy, consume. And I don't enjoy Christmas songs and all that stuff. But that aside, I am now excited for this time of year. I am, because I'm making my own path, my own traditions with my family, and that's special. So that's this video. Bit of a rant, but I just want to put it out there and just say there's nothing wrong with you if you don't like Christmas or you don't want to celebrate Christmas. You do you, okay? Take care of yourself this time of year. Take care of those around you. It's a hectic time. It's a stressful time for a lot of people. Let's try and be kind, okay? Alright guys, see you.